and welcome once again to Fight Factory Weekly. I'm Nick Raven and I'll be your host for the next 30 minutes or so of hard-hitting Fight Factory wrestling action. So without any further ado, let's go to VT and find out what we have got in store for you this week on Fight Factory Weekly. This week we bring you action from our stop in Gainsborough on the Breakout Tour, starting off with the debut of Mr. Williams taking on the rising star of Fight Factory Wrestling, the Academy Champion, Tommy Ryder. And at the top of the show, we'll be bringing you a great encounter between the steampunk sensation, Edward Ripper, and the hero, Will Wilde, in a matchup that had more than just pride on the line. Fantastic stuff, I am sure you'll agree. However though, before we come to our opening contest, I must remind you that this Sunday is our next live event entitled Breakdown. And of course, it'll be taking place at the Birchwood Leisure Centre in Lincoln. Now, you can still reserve your tickets for collection on the door on the tickets page at www.fightfactorywrestling.uk. Or alternatively, a limited number of tickets will be released on the day for purchase on the door, so be sure to get down nice and early to avoid missing out on what's going to be a fantastic event. Now, on to our opening match from the Gainsborough X-Church, and we have the debut of Mr. Williams, hailing from the staff room, in singles action against our Academy Champion, the rising star, Tommy Ryder. Williams is looking to keep the young star in detention, so let's go to ringside, where the pretty boy Peter Payne and the voice, Rob Daniels, will be taking you through the action.
I do have a quick announcement to make. One of the participants in this first match has actually requested to me that all the children here in attendance are sat down, be quiet, and fingers on lips, please. This first match is a singles match scheduled for 1-4 and is a singles contest.
Unusual announcement there from the voice, Rob Daniels. I wonder who told him to do that. And there is your answer. None other than Mr. Williams. Look at him in his teacher's outfit. I tell you one thing, I would not like to teach him or for him to teach me geography. Let me tell you that. He looks like a hard taskmaster, and I would not like to be in a classroom with Mr. Williams. The fans are not taking to Mr. Williams. They don't want the tension with him, that's for sure. This man is new to UK wrestling. Hashtag #NoIdiots2016. Look at those wrap-around glasses as well.
Lots of detention steps in the back if you'd like me to go and get one. Now shut your mouth, son.
Well, I'll tell you what, people are talking back to Mr. Williams, and he does not like it, as you can see.
Don't make me come down there. You'll regret it.
Look at those neatly arranged pens in the top pocket. That tells me that someone is organised, and that someone is Mr. Williams.
Bring the idiot out. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Williams. And introducing his opponent.
And here we go. Time for a bit of Rising Star, even though it's not yet night time. Fans loving a bit of the Academy Champion, Tommy Ryder. Look at him holding that Academy belt, that beautiful maroon belt that Tommy Ryder won back at Boiling Point, defeating Will Wilde. Fans liking what they're seeing, so is Tommy Ryder. Look at him being magnanimous with the fans, giving them high fives, low fives, middle fives, all the kind of fives you want. joined back on commentary by Mr. Rob Daniels. Are you all right, Rob, after Mr. Williams got in your face?
Well, to be honest, there, I thought I was going to end up in detention for the rest of my life the way he was eyeing me up. But it's all good. It's all good.
A very unique ring attire from Mr. Williams, I have to say.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be my first choice in wrestling attire, but let's not forget, he's a little bit old school, let's face it.
Yeah, but we all know, Rob, that your first choice of attire would be head-to-toe spandex.
Of course, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring there, your Fight Factory Wrestling Academy champion, rising star, Mr. Tommy Ryder.
Mocking Mr. Williams there.
This literally is student versus pupil. Student versus teacher, should I say, Peter?
Student versus teacher. That's absolutely correct. Look at those wrap-around glasses on Mr. Williams, though. Look at those. Is he going to take those off?
I was just about to say, surely he's not going to wrestle in then?
He's not Bubba Ray Dudley in 1997. Or is he?
He's looking slim and trim.
He is looking slim. And look at that. Scrupulous refereeing from Sleepless. And it's about to get underway.
Tommy Ryder geeing up the crowd here.
Not that they need geeing up, to be fair, Rob. I mean, they are a noisy bunch tonight in Gainsborough.
It's a great packed house here at the X-Church. We're filled to the brim. I don't think we could fit any more in here. The energy's fantastic. What more could you ask for a debut?
What's this from Williams now? What's this? It's not a popularity contest, Williams, and if it was, you would lose it. You would lose it, and how?
F- there for me.
Ryder going for it.
Definitely a star there for the rising star.
Strange antics from Mr. Williams. Let's see if they pay off. No one liking Mr. Williams here at all.
I think he's gone from an F- down to an ungraded there.
Absolutely. I love your knowledge of the high school grading system. I really do. Oh, and Tommy Ryder showing why. Oh, wait, that's a cheap shot if ever I saw one.
Ryder quickly cut off there as Williams lays down the attack. Showing no mercy straight away.
Currently wrestling in glasses, Rob.
Well, let's see how long that lasts for.
Oh, big knockdown.
Williams catches Ryder. Twisting Hurricanrana.
And there go the glasses. Tommy throwing them away.
Tommy Ryder now running in this corner. High knee. Can he follow up that bulldog?
Oh, score!
Goes for the quick cover, but Williams making it out to safety at the side of the ring. Taking a breather. That could be a smart move actually on Williams' part. I'm not sure he's a match for the speed.
I don't know, because look at Ryder going after him here. Tommy Ryder going after him.
Is he a PE teacher?
I don't know. Not with that attire. Oh, but maybe with that stomp.
Hard elbow there by Williams. Tommy Ryder gasping for breath, trying to make the most of this. Williams takes him up for the vertical suplex.
Oh, lands hard.
Slams him down with authority there.
Tommy Ryder, often the underdog.
Yep, and let's face it, he's made his career on that, on being an underdog, and it's served him well. Previous battles with people like Styx, 3 times the size of him, and he showed he can hang with the best that the British wrestling scene has to offer.
Absolutely. He's sort of hanging up here, and I tell you what, that is going to sting tomorrow. I hope he hasn't got a cold, because rubbing Vicks on that chest will hurt.
I won't fancy too many of them, Peter.
No. I mean, I like chops, but I prefer them to be lamb.
Williams now working on the midsection, taking it to Ryder.
Oh, textbook snapmare. And let's be fair, Mr. Williams knows a thing or two about textbooks. Near fall.
Williams, a relative newcomer to the UK wrestling scene. Although the age difference is vast, Tommy Ryder actually has the experience advantage over Mr. Williams. But Mr. Williams holding his own there in the ring.
Hashtag no idiots 2016, Rob. Beautiful T-bone. Again, I also like T-bone steaks.
This could be a food-themed night in Gainsborough. Williams only managing a 2 count there. Great refereeing by our resident clown, Mr. Sleepless.
I like that. I like it. I like his shoes. I think he looks good as a referee.
Yeah.
I think it could be another career path for him if the wrestling doesn't work out.
Let's face it beats his carnival days. Nobody wants to be chased around by a big monster clown who calls himself Tiny now, do they?
I mean, I do, but that's enough about my Saturday nights. Oh, big Irish whip into the corner. Oh, big boot to the face. Cutting off Williams there.
Tommy Ryder.
Oh, and another one. Another one for good measure.
Getting the second wind here. Oh. Leapfrogs him. Great clothesline. Follows it up. And again. Tommy Ryder getting the crowd firmly behind him now. Showing Mr. Williams who's boss. Strong splash. Goes for the second. Third time's a charm.
Oh, I love that move. I love that move.
Shades of Mr. Jeff Hardy there, I think. Tommy Ryder, is he going up top?
I think we're going to see that patented Ryder missile drop kick.
Tommy Ryder perched up on the top rope. Boom! There we go. Sends Williams crashing down.
This could be it, Rob. This could be it.
Goes for the cover.
Oh, I thought it was.
Only a 2 count.
I thought Ryder had him.
I think Ryder thought he had him as well.
I think the crowd thought he had him. I think Sleepless thought they had him. I think we all thought he had him. He didn't though.
The crowd here engaged. We're firmly behind Mr. Tommy Ryder. Ooh, strong European uppercut there.
Stiff. It's a stiff uppercut.
Giving him a geography lesson there, if you will.
Oh, and another T-bone. Another T-bone. Likes that T-bone suplex.
Mr. Williams looking to put him away.
I think that clipboard is an illegal weapon, Rob.
Well, I'd put him in detention if he used it, if I was Sleepless.
Ah, good refereeing. Strong refereeing. Well done, Sleepless. Well done.
That's how you officiate a match.
I think that was a low blow. I think that was a low blow.
Tommy Ryder was going for the Ryder drive.
No, surely not.
Oh.
Surely not. Mr. Williams stealing one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Mr. Williams.
Well, I mean, Rob, a winning debut for Mr. Williams, but not a fair win by any stretch of the imagination. You cannot go downstairs.
No, he definitely stole the win there from Tommy Ryder. He showed the fortitude that he could hang in there with a superior, but let's face it, he got cheated out of the win there.
And there we go. Mr. Williams victorious in his debut here at Fight Factory. However, not without questionable tactics. And it was such a shame. After a very to-and-fro matchup, Tommy Ryder, though, certainly nothing to be ashamed of in a very dubious defeat. However, now we go to today's main event and a little bit of backstory for you. It was right at the start of Breakout in Gainesville where Will Wilde came out, unannounced I might add, and challenged Edward Ripper to a match that night, citing frustration at how fast the steampunk sensation had climbed up the ranks here at Fight Factory Wrestling. Enter Edward Ripper, who proceeds to accept the challenge, however, not without stipulation, offering to wager his trademark moustache in return for Wilde putting his hair on the line. Yep, it's a hair versus tash match, and we are bringing it to you now. So let's go back to Peter and Rob at the barbershop and see who would be facing the Shears at the end of this one.
To be taken lightly.
This match is scheduled for 1 fall and is a hair versus mustache match.
It's almost the one we've all been waiting for. It's the stash versus the trim.
Either their hair or their mustache shaved off by their opponent. Now,
Can't wait for this one.
let me introduce you to the competitors in this match. Introducing first.
We saw him earlier, calling out Edward Ripper, and then Edward Ripper making the challenge. If you win, you get a shave off my mustache. If I win, I get a shave off your hair. Lincoln's very... he's pointing at me. Okay, he's gone away good. I'm glad about that because I wouldn't have had to like to use excessive force on Lincoln's very own W anchor. says on his shorts. Wearing a devil's mask. Kind of my entrance, but okay, Will, if you want to copy me, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's dark outside. An eerie blackness falls over the X-Church as we get ready for our main event.
And his opponent!
I tell you what, you could go anywhere in the world, you could watch any wrestling promotion you wanted, and you would not see a more positive reaction for a wrestler. Edward Ripper, the very definition of fan favourite. Look at him, look at that moustache, look at that hat, look at those goggles, look at those boots, look at those chinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the steamboat sensation,
Edward Ripper knows, just like we all do, that without our fans we would be nowhere, and that's why he's so gracious, so courteous to those people that cheer his name long, long into the night. I tell you what though, the two competitors cannot be looking forward to this one, because one of them is losing something that they hold very dear. His hair versus moustache. And I'm joined once again by Rob Daniels.
Yes, Peter, and what a main event this is going to be. The steampunk sensation Edward Ripper versus the hero Will Wilde.
As I called him, Lincoln's very own W anchor. As it says quite plainly on his tights.
Let's face it, we need to get that stupid pink hairstyle shaved off, Will. So,
do you know what? I think at the commentary booth they're supposed to be unbiased. We are the least impartial commentary duo.
well, yeah, you could say that, but the way Mr. Wilde treats some of the Five Factory
ring the
wrestling, the way he treats some of the Five Factory staff, as you can see there, having to go at our timekeepers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you know the thing? I just want to give a shout out to our timekeepers. Sometimes they have more than one job to do, Rob.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't ring the bell.
It's a very difficult job.
It's a very difficult job, but they do it so well.
Now, let's see how this match pans out. Edward Ripper, a very, very old school style of wrestling. Will Wilde, a more modern indie style approach, if you will.
I was saying, Rob, as you were doing your ring announcing, what I was saying was simply, this is a match that neither of them want to lose. And I know that sounds like a truism, because when you step into the ring, you don't want to lose a match. But they are losing so much more in pride. They are losing follicular confidence.
Oh, of course. Let's face it, the amount of bald men in the world, Mr. Preston, for one, how shattered is his confidence every time he gets turned down by a woman because he's bald? Will Wilde could face that same fate here tonight. Also, Edward Ripper, that moustache, as he said in his promo earlier, it tickles the ladies in places that you never dreamed of. They love it. He's going to lose that appeal to his personal character. Oh, strong belly to back side slam there.
I think we can
and take him, Will Wilde, to school amateur style.
I think we can glean that the loser is certainly going to be worse off than the winner.
Oh, big style, Peter. And I think it's going to be a close one to call. Both men have been victorious in recent times. Ripper having a very long, drawn-out feud with dishonourable Dave Isaac.
A feud that's probably not over, Rob, let's face it.
Oh, it'll never be over between those two. Will Wilde taking umbrage at the Academy students.
Rob, Will Wilde has taken umbrage with everybody.
Oh, yeah, that is very true.
He's got a chip on his shoulder the size of Mr. Chips from Catchphrase. And that is one massive chip, let me tell you that.
Talking about massive, look at those massive thighs wrapping around the neck of Edward Ripper as Will Wilde tries to neutralise the threat of the steampunk sensation. Will Wild trying to choke the life out of him here. The man from Old London Town trying to reach for the ropes as Jeff the ref looks on.
I tell you what, Will Wild wants Edward Ripper to tap, and you know what? I think taking
what a float over there by Edward Ripper into a side headlock.
A page out of Aidan Drake's book.
Very true, very true. That headstand. Side headlock now by Edward Ripper as he makes his way back to his feet. Sends him shooting into the ropes, goes for the clothesline, ducks, misses. Strong shoulder tackle. Oh! Japanese arm drag, dropping Will Wild straight on top of his head there.
I tell you what, that was not a positive landing from Mr. Wild.
Good night, Irene. That could be all.
That could be it.
Ripper going for that corner bomb, possibly.
Are we going to see it? We're going to see it sort of...
Shades of Vader! Boom. Oh, nails him down with it.
Will's hair could be gone.
Oh. Will, knowing there's a lot more at stake than just his hair.
Absolutely. Ripper getting Wild. I tell you what, Wild looks like he has just been dropped on his head, and that's exactly what's just happened.
Very true. Let's do. Oh. In all seriousness, we love him, hate him. Let's just hope he's not injured. Ah, no, he's playing possum, if anything.
He's playing possum, you're absolutely right. It takes more than a drop on the head to neutralise Will Wild. But he is feeling it, you can see it in his face.
He dropped on his head like that anchor on his ring gear there.
He dropped on his head like an anchor drops to the sea bottom.
Will Wild taking umbrage at Jeff the ref now, saying he should count faster.
Jeff can only count at the designated referee counting speed.
And let's face it, all referees can only actually count to 5. The really talented ones count to 10, but they can only do that when competitors leave the ring.
Absolutely.
Jeff the ref now checking to make sure it's not a choke.
I tell you, do you know what I think just been placed on our table? I think a set of clippers has just been placed on our table,
It's
Rob.
the ominous clippers that are going to seal the fate of whoever loses this match. Like we said earlier, it could go either way, and at the moment it's going the hero's way. It's going all for Will Wild as he ties Edward Ripper up in the corner and delivers a strong shot to the chest.
Rob, if you had a moustache that was kind of your defining attribute, but you also loved your hair, what would you rather lose?
That's a tough one. I think if the moustache is the defining attribute, it's got to be the hair.
I think a bald man with a moustache would look okay. But that's not going to be Will Wild's case, is it? He's just going to be a bald man.
Yes, very true. It never did Charles Bronson any harm.
It never did. Never did.
I would never do any harm to Mr. Charles Bronson.
I don't think you could.
Big chop there to the chest of the steampunk sensation, Edward Ripper.
Tying him up.
Will Wild trying to G the crowd up.
This is going to hurt.
Oh.
And even though Edward Ripper does have a thick layer of chest hair, that is not going to stop a chop like that.
I can testify to that one. I'm in the Edward Ripper camp when it comes to chest hair. Oh. And it's no...
Big splash.
Big avalanche splash in the corner.
Oh, what are we going to hear? Are we going to hear a knife-edge chop that echoes round the ex-church?
The Gainsborough crowd are loving that. The church here giving extra reverb to that. Another big avalanche splash. Can he follow it with another chop? Oh!
Will Wild has been taken to chop school.
And the grin on Edward Ripper's face, he's loving it.
I tell you what, that's the best move Will Wild's done in this match, let me tell you that. Getting out of harm's way.
Very, very, very smart move there.
His chest will be lit up like Las Vegas.
Christmas lights there on Mr. Will Wild's chest as he tries to regroup outside the ring. Smart move, as you said, Peter.
I tell you what, if you've ever seen the love scene in Titanic in the back of the car, when she puts her hand on the window, on the condensation, and rubs it down, that's what Will Wild's chest looks like right now. Will Wild's chest looks like a vintage car that has had a love scene in the back of from a peasant and an upper-class person on a steamliner in the middle of the Atlantic. That is what Will Wild's chest is akin to right now.
An analogy there, something only the pretty boy could make. Will Wild sending Ripper into the ropes, and again, strong back elbow. Will Wild known for those vicious elbows.
I tell you what about Will Wild. It's like you've said this all night, love him or hate him, about the various people. But Will Wild can wrestle.
Oh,
There is
yes.
no doubt about that. Will Wild has got a serious skill set.
He's a graduate of the Fight Factory Wrestling Academy. He's trained by Dutch. He's come up through the ranks. He's beaten the Academy's finest, and he's beaten some of Fight Factory Wrestling's finest. Now he's here against the steampunk sensation, and he's making a name for himself.
He's got a check. Now, Rob, if he gets disqualified, is he losing his hair?
He will. It doesn't matter how you lose the match.
What in the name of Blue Nun is he doing?
Well, maybe that shot to the head sent him a bit skits.
Or does he know
He's got
exactly-
that golden spike. He's got that golden spike off the devil mask he wears as an entrance to the ring, driving it into Edward Ripper's skull.
I tell you what, I questioned why he got that chair. Now I know exactly why. A spike!
Diversionary tactics there by the hero, Will Wild.
And as good as Jeff the Teller, watch out, Jeff! Oh, God. And as much as Jeff the Ref is, great job. He's a stellar referee. He can't see everything. He hasn't got eyes in the back of his head. Jeff the Ref is not an owl.
No, none of us have eyes in the back of our head, Peter, and Jeff is no exception. Edward Ripper now, though, pardon the pun, trying to pick up a head of steam. Those vintage style boxing punches taking to the jaw of Will Wild. He's winding up for the big right backhand there, sending Will Wild down to the floor.
He hit him so hard, his own momentum took him off his feet.
Massive elbow drop by the strong man. He's going to follow up with another. Could this see Will Wild out? Edward Ripper going for the cover. Jeff the Ref counts 2. Will Wild managing to get his shoulder up at the last second.
You're right about the strength of Edward Ripper. I saw him lift a chalk ice with a single strand of hair from his moustache.
That is strong.
Yeah,
that is very, very strong.
And it was a dark chocolate chalk ice.
All the more rich.
Where is he going?
Edward Ripper not known for his high flying abilities, but heading up to the top. Big crossbody.
Oh,
that's
huge.
gotta be it.
Say goodbye to your hair, Will Wild. No.
Will Wild knowing what's at stake, pushing every ounce of effort into getting his arm up.
What happens if Edward Ripper loses but looks great, clean shaven?
Oh, the spear! That's it. Will Wild's done. He's done. Will Wild
He is done.
has lost his hair. What's gonna be here tonight?
We're going to see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the hair versus mustache match, the steampunk sensation, Edward Ripper.
So, Will Wild going Hollywood on his head.
Is he going to take his punishment like a man, or is he going to try and weasel his way out of it?
He can't weasel. He can't. Oh, he's trying.
Oh, he's trying to weasel, don't you worry. It's Will Wild, of course he's going to weasel.
The weasel, Will Wild.
Maybe it should have been a weasel match. You should have to wear a weasel costume after it.
I think we put on the
Oh, he's met at the entranceway by his old nemesis, the Academy champion Tommy Ryder. A bit of a fighting match going on here. Tommy Ryder's not going to let him leave without taking his medicine.
Dutch!
Dutch lays Will Wild out with a chair shot to the head.
Where did Dutch come from?
Oh my God!
And look at Sebastian Bell out there.
Sebastian Bell's taking glee in this as Ryder and Bell pick up Wild to take him
And
to the
there
ring.
are the Clippers.
The Clippers are out in force.
Dutch just hit Will Wild with a chair.
Well, if that first shot to the head wasn't enough, that certainly is.
And now we are going to see
Parading him round the ring like some little puppet. This is something for the ages. A first in Fight Factory Wrestling.
they're going to scalp the man.
They're going to scalp him at ringside in front of the fans.
Is that Johnny Storms out there?
Edward Ripper scalping that pink locks
Sebastian Bell, Tommy Ryder, Dutch, Edward Ripper, everybody's getting involved in the scalping of Will Wild. Even Jeff the ref's there.
Jeff the ref, the most over man in Fight Factory Wrestling.
Will Wild
watching over proceedings.
squirming.
The man from Old London Town giving Will Wild a taste of what he deserves.
And look at him, there he is, it's not. Oh, he looks like a monk. He looks like a monk.
He's got that traditional monk hair. He's bald on the top. And what's left of those pink...
Will Wild desperately trying anything and everything, but it wasn't enough. Edward Ripper with that little bit of high risk with that top rope crossbody press, and then finally hitting that spear to ensure that Will Wild would be the one to face the Clippers. Will Wild did try and weasel out of that wager at the end though, but between Tommy Ryder, Dutch, and a stiff chair shot, it was safe to say that end of the bargain was upheld. Now, that's all the time we have today on Fight Factory Weekly, but don't forget this Sunday, Breakdown, Birchwood Leisure Centre in Lincoln. We hope to see you there, and of course, from all of us here at Fight Factory Weekly, we look forward to seeing you here next week for another packed episode of Wrestling Action. Until then, take care.
Eyes over me while telling something's different now.